CSL TV, in person and online. Hello, hello. Let's start off with our opening song, shall we?
Last week, so Susie and I could go on our adventures up north in Monterey Bay. It was so good for us, and it just feels so nice to be able to take a Sunday off, because it's important for all of us. I don't expect any one of us to be here every Sunday. Now, if it fills your cup and you love being here, hallelujah. But if you also like being at home with your jammies on and a cup of coffee and watching us on the live stream, or being at the beach or playing golf or going fishing or going hiking or whatever you're doing, that is spirituality too, right? Because wherever you go, your temple is with you. So we come here to be together, to maybe learn a little something new, go into the depths of our being and maybe find something new about ourselves that we didn't know before, and then to share it with one another, and then fantastically go over to the social hall and have a nosh and a cup of coffee and be together. So we are CSL TV. We are CSL TV. Yeah. Good morning, online. I see you. I won't creep up and scare you, but I do see you. Hello. Thank you for being with us, but I want you to... Maybe Zach will turn the screen every once in a while and show the community, because we are here. We are here. So, welcome, welcome. If you're new to the center, we are an open, loving community. When we say we are CSL TV, it is because it is we. It's we. We do this together. And so, if you're here for the first time, we are so grateful. We look forward to connecting with you. And we hope that you enjoy our service today. So we're going to begin our service with a moment of taking that breath and going within. See, we're such good metaphysicians in here. The breath just immediately happens. I love it. So we're going to begin with our centering song, and we'll ring the bell, and then our practitioner of service today, the beloved Ann Woodward, will begin and open this container with our invocation.
All right.
Do we do a center song? Or can we just ring the bell?
Oh, you know what? Do your thing.
That's how we roll.
This is one community, one loving community, and this is God's place. This is that unified field of intelligence, that loving presence that is with each of us. And we carry that with us today. I see that for myself, and I see that for this community right here and right now. As we celebrate this weekend of Earth Day, knowing that this community is part of a larger community of fellowship between people. And so we bring that love to each other, and we bring that to our community. And I see all my beloveds here today ready to do that, ready to celebrate and enjoy this wonderful place that we are experiencing life, this earth. And so I say thank you for this. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this great experience of life. And so it is. So it is.
We are celebrating a little bit of Earth Day today.
Yeah.
Thank you for rolling with me. I keep Joanna on her toes, poor baby. She loves me.
Last week was really on my toes.
Oh, were you? Mary.
You did excellent.
Great job, Mary. Way to hold the fort down. Yes. All right, we're going to take this time to do our community song together, which is I Am the Light in This World, and I hope we sing it robustly. And I'm actually going to come out and be with us because I want to sing with us too. So, Joanna?
All right.
You can stand if you want, because I'm going to be standing. This morning with our practitioner Ann Woodward. We're thinking about the earth today. Yesterday was Earth Day, and I just think it is important for us as metaphysicians, light bringers and bearers, to just have some gratitude for the earth today and all that she brings and all that she gives and supports and sources us. So I'm going to invite Ann to come up. Go ahead.
Let me
Yes. And I'm going to sit down here so
okay.
So I can see.
I've been honored with this gift of speaking this morning, and I'm here representing the people of Pechanga. And this is what we're saying today. as I get the right page. We at the Center for Spiritual Living Temecula Valley pay homage to the indigenous Ahatam Luiseno people and acknowledge the land on which this building is located and upon which we are gathered as part of their traditional homeland. Today, Pechanga is one of 6 federally recognized Luiseno bands whose traditional territory encompasses western Riverside County and the southern Channel Islands. The Pechanga people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It has been cherished and protected as the elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands.
Yep. You want to do our pledge?
So we have here the pledge. No job is too big, no action too small. The care of the earth is the task of us all.
And you can just stay up there for your reading.
So now you have to.
You get lots of Ann today, which I
Now you have to listen to me a little bit longer.
we love it.
This is our reading for the day, and it's from Joel Goldsmith, and it's from The Infinite Way. The powers of the soul are more real and tangible than any of the material powers of nature or invention. They operate on a higher level of consciousness, but are made evident in so-called human affairs. Soul forces act upon the human body to produce and maintain health and harmony. They touch every avenue of daily existence as protective influences and are the source of infinite supply. The soul-conscious people of this world live in an inner life of peace, joy, and dominion, and outer life in complete harmony with themselves and with all the world of men, animals, and things. They are in tune with their soul powers, and this constitutes their at one-ment with all of creation. Everyone may have access to this soul. It lies deep within the recesses of our own being. Desire for the higher attainments of life is the first requisite, and then must follow a continuous turning within until the goal has been attained. And so it is.
So it is.
Yeah, thank you.
And while Ann is making her way down, taking her way down to her partner, we have some plants down here that would love to make their way into your garden or your home. So in honor of Earth Day, if anybody feels called to, not the big tall one, we're going to keep this one, but these ones down here are all looking for their right and perfect home. So if you feel called after service, please come up, take a plant home and repot it or purpose it in your yard, and then you get to think about CSL TV when you water and say hello. So that's for anyone here. And we are going to have our first featured song. I know Joanna looks at me nervously when I walk over there. I love it. What is happening here? So I just love that we get to do some like oldies but goodies. But today I've asked her to do some songs that I really love and my wife Susie really loves. So yeah, I know it's going to be fantastic. So first song today is Landslide, Fleetwood Mac, right? All right. Please join me in welcoming Joanna right in.
Mirror in the sky.
child in my heart, rise above. Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes me older, children get older, and I'm getting older too. Freedom changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes me bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Take my love and I take it down. Climb the mountain and I turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, will the landslide bring it down? And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, when the landslide brought it down.
So good. Thank you. One more time for Joanna. Have a band. It's just unbelievable. I love it. I love it. Hi, good morning. All right, so we are in the year of living out loud, and I think we're doing a good job. Don't you think? I feel like every service we're getting like a little bit better at living out loud. And I really hope by the end, maybe by the midpoint of the year, that we're just like on fire with living out loud. Because when we do it, when we be it in the world, other people get permission to do it too. And that's how we change the world. One person, one being at a time. This month is the power of vulnerability. It's like my favorite, as you know, it's like my jam, but I love it. And today we are, again, talking about being vulnerable, the power in being vulnerable, and how we can support one another as we are authentic and real and we let the mask down. I feel like a broken record, but I know that that's what we're talking about, right? As we really feel into each other, into that space between us, that's where the magic is. It's so juicy. And I want everybody to feel it. I want everyone here to really feel into one another and know that you are supported. And so when things are crappy, that you can lean in, I can lean in and say, yeah, I'm in it right now, and the space between us is held, and we are supported. So that's a talk. There you go. I know. invisible.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, we're working with Brene Brown's work today. We're also working with Elegant Choices, Healing Choices by Marcia Sinitar. Prac students who are coming up, we work with this book quite a bit. It's an excellent book. And I'm also working with the Wisdom the Wisdom Pattern by Father Richard Rohr, one of my favorite monks. And so the divine qualities that I hope you hear today are honesty, power, love, and liberation, freedom. So, do we really want to be seen? We're talking about being seen and seeing others. And sometimes I wonder if we really do want to be seen. And I think sometimes we don't. And I'll tell you a story. One time, this is no joke. I swear this, I know I tell a lot of stories, but the reason why I tell stories is because I want you to know I experience these things. I look at them. I heal it if there's a false belief operating in that situation. And then I rise on the other side. And I want you to know what one woman can do, another can do. So that's the reason why these quirky stories, and they're also funny. So one day, a few years back, I was in Sephora. Ladies, gentlemen, you probably know Sephora is the big place where you go to buy lotions and creams and powders and potions and whatever, right? And I'm not a big makeup wearer. I'm wearing lipstick today, but I usually am not a big makeup. It's strange and unusual for me, and so I'm a little bit afraid of it, right? So I went and told Susie, I'm going into Sephora. Walked right in, which was, even that was like brave. I walked right in. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to manage this situation that is my face and come out the other side. Woo! Okay, so I'm in Sephora, right? And I'm kind of wandering around and I see the women. There's women who are all beautifully glammed and beautiful. And they're in these white coats, right? I am not kidding you. She was right there. Like, right there. And I'm standing here going, hi. Hello. Yes. Hi, yes, me. I need help. I swear. I thought I was invisible. I mean, it was a weird, surreal moment for me. I was like, I literally looked for a mirror because I was like, what did I look? She's right there. Does she not see me? I mean, I was like waving. And I felt invisible. First, I thought it was funny, and I was a little perplexed, but then the reality of it hit me, like right here in my heart. She doesn't see me. Am I being seen? Bless you. So it's a funny story, and we're going to have an arc to this story, but I swear that day I was invisible. And I walked out of Sephora feeling old, not pretty, not valuable, and I didn't buy anything. I walked right out. But I think in that moment, I just didn't know who I was. I forgot. And we forget. And that's why we come here and we look to the gurus like the Christ and others, the Buddha, to help us remember. Mother Mary, help me remember. Help me be seen. Because I truly did forget. And I love this Emerson quote that says this: "Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." When we come in with a knowing ourselves, with a presence, none of this matters. We don't even hear it. Because we are ethereal bodies. Human beings have an ethereal sense to them. And when we know ourselves and we are fully in our power, we can feel it. Let us not forget that we are animals. And just like nature, we feel it. And so I think I just wasn't feeling myself that day. And she looked right through me. She didn't see me. Now, I don't blame her. I really don't. I was, with whatever I was feeling that day, I was uncomfortable. I wasn't feeling sure of myself. I didn't think I belonged there. I didn't think I had a place at that table. I do. Plotinus has this quote, which I really like, because I think we just forget. Since we look towards the outside, right? This is our nature. I don't have eyes, although I try to tell Nate and Zach that I do have eyes back here, but I do not. We look outwards, right? We look towards the outside, away from the point at which we are all joined together. We are unaware of the fact that we are all one. We are like faces turned towards the outside. Like all these faces, right? Turned towards the outside. If we turn around then, all at once, we would see God, ourselves, and the all. And that's the point. This. Get in the practice of this. Knowing thyself. Be thee known. Because when we know ourselves, the God image, the self image, and the world image will change. What we do here changes us, right? What we do here changes us. We have an internal shift within ourselves, and guess what? The world of appearance changes too, because we have done that. They are all connected. And if I change, that has to change. This has to change. They are so intertwined. They are one. When I shift, this shifts. This is what we do here with Science of Mind. We know that as my thoughts and my words and my actions shift, as I know myself, as I love myself, God, Spirit, Cosmic Muffin, whatever you call it, says, yes, here you go. Joanna, you want this? Oh, my beloved, I love you. Here it is. That's how it works. The universe is a yes machine. It only says yes. But when our internal dialogue is maybe chatter or not being seen, not feeling like I had a place at the table at Sephora, well, guess what? God says, you're invisible. Be the invisible. Because it always says yes. Always. And so I think when we say the statement, I am not who I think I am, that's powerful. I would encourage us to take that on as a spiritual practice every day. I am not who I think I am. I am not who I think I am. Because at every moment we are shifting and changing. And if we wanted to get into quantum physics and the quantum multiverse, then we would know, right, that there are I can't even infinite number of I ams of me out there having a life. I'm choosing this one in this plane of existence right now. That's my decision. But when we can lose our attachment to ourselves, we can get more attached to ourself with a capital S. When I lose my attachment of fear of being judged in Sephora because I don't know what I'm doing, I can connect and know myself. And I could walk right up to anybody and be seen. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, says, the greatest discovery of my lifetime is that a human being can alter his or her life by altering his or her attitude. That's it. You're dismissed. Dr. Ernest Holmes, that's the basis of what we do here. And it's powerful that we as human beings can alter our lives at any moment by just altering our attitude. So you want to change your life? Then you can do it. We are at choice. We are at volition. We have freedom to do as we like. And the universe says, my beloved, here you go. Here you go. And we see practitioners who are here today with us and more, we see demonstrations of this all the time. I want to shout it from the rooftops. So, if you haven't already rebelled with me, I'd encourage you to start right now. We want a positive rebellion, okay? Positive rebellion. Knowing what we stand for, knowing who we are, defining ourselves is a way for us to be seen. And sometimes it's scary, right? I mean, and I get it. It's almost easier in the world where you don't know anybody. But when you're at Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, and you're with a bunch of family and friends, and there's talk going a certain way, and you don't agree, that's brave to stand in a loving way, right? In love, and also just to know who you are and have an opinion. Have a seat at the table. Don't play small. But in love, right? In love. Knowing who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for. Taking an inventory. When was the last time we've taken an inventory? Who am I? I'm many, many things, but I think taking an inventory about what I believe in, what I stand for, staying centered on my principle is important. It's important. And sometimes it's messy, and I love the messy. Life is messy. It's juicy. You know, when you eat a juicy peach, it's messy, but it's delicious. You know, no mud, no lotus. So being in it and knowing yourself, looking within, not being defined right by the outside. I wear many faces. I do. I have all the faces that I wear. And every once in a while, through meditation, through contemplation, through coming here, taking a class, that's what happens. I know myself. It forces me to look at myself. Because it's so easy just to be, life is good, and I'm asleep, and it's fine. But these types of practices force us to look at ourselves. I hope that's what we're doing here today. Looking, taking it and putting it to get here to look within. You know another way to look within? Joy, laughter, play. I don't think half of us play enough here. We should be playing with abandon. Wrestling with the kids. I see you back there. Wrestle. You know? Connecting. That's how we know ourselves. Now, William James has this to say about a crab. Probably a crab would be filled with a sense of personal outrage if it could hear us class it without even an apology as a crustacean, and thus dispose of it. And the crab would say, I am no such thing. It would say, I am myself alone. Right? We're so good at classifying. We have our crab. Oh yeah, look at him. We're so good at classifying, putting us in boxes. That's a crustacean, right? Crustacean. And the crab's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Reverend Charlene. I am me. I am myself. We have the right to feel and be and do as we are. That is our God-given right. And so when I decide to be seen, it's a choice. Was it me or was it her? Well, here to tell you, it's never them. It's always us. So it was me. It was me. And I want to read from Marcia from Elegant Choices, Healing Choices. She says this about liberation. And I just think it's lovely. Liberation is possible because these ideas help us get out of externally imposed categories and classifications. The the greater our resistance to being stereotyped and being defined by others, the greater our chances for recovering a pure, clear sense of who we are as a person. This is the first step in our healing. For this pure, clear sense of self has regenerative power, holds life within itself. This leads us eventually to completion. I like regenerative power. But when we really, right, when we are not defined by anyone else, by what anybody else thinks of me on social media, by any definition that might happen at work or in social situations, we are free. And we have to really resist the stereotype because it's just so easy. That's what we do. We come by it naturally. There's no shame in that game. But we have to be positive rebellion and resist the stereotype. We are all individualized points of light. I do this all the time. God, 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 God. There's no classification of that. It's the diversity in the multiplicity, and it's God. So, full circle moment now. I was on a trip with some girlfriends like 2 weeks ago, and we were taking selfies, and one of my girlfriends, no joke, has this app where you can totally clean up everything. I mean, it's like, you want this contoured? Boom. You want these gone? Boom. You want these little crow things gone? Boom. So we're having fun, and she's cleaning up our photo, right? And then she posted it to social media, and I was like, ooh, I hated it. I hated it. That's not me. That's not me. I actually had a full appreciation that I like me. I don't want to look like a plasticized doll. I like it. It's cool. So I had that moment of, I thought it was going to be great. I was looking at it like, oh, we're going to look so delicious. But I really didn't like it. And I asked her to take it down. I said, you can touch yourself up, but I don't want to be touched up like that. I'm okay with being known. And it felt really powerful for me to say, heck yeah, that's who I am. My grays, my little freckly things of sun damage, that's who I am. And I like it. I like it. And I want all of us to feel that way. I want everyone to feel full every day. In whatever way you choose, with whatever you put on, you feel good and in your own power. We're going to hear a song from Joanna and Mike and Jim in a minute, and it's Dave Matthews. And it's the space between. And Rumi talks about the field outside of right and wrong, right? And I really believe in this space between us. Because in this space between us, there's no wrong or right. And I think with social media and this online, we forget that. Much more challenging to be fully opinionated in person, right? Much easier to be online and be full of my own righteousness and opinion. Much easier, right? Because there is a power in being together. I love our online community, but being together in person is powerful. And I know that there is a power in space holding between us. Now, nature does it beautifully all over the place. And so I want to read you about the power of geese, which I find is incredible. So here we are. There they are. Look at them. And look at the space between, right? They're so brilliant. So geese fly in a V formation, as we know, and their wings flap, and it produces an air movement, which helps the goose behind. By flying like this, geese increase their flight strength compared to any goose that goes it alone. And it creates a flight range greater of 71%. So whenever a goose comes out of formation, it feels the resistance, right? It stepped out of the space between and realizes the difficulty in going it alone and quickly gets back in, in the formation with the space between, taking full advantage of the companion in front of him or her, they. And it got me thinking, it's like, they know it. What's wrong with us? Because that's where the magic is, the space between us. And being real, being seen, not false, even when it's hard. Eric Butterworth says, when we imagine a gaggle of geese flying in tight formation, at these moments, these creatures lock themselves into a group soul, letting go of their particular desires and needs as individual creatures and becoming one body with transcendent intelligence directing them, creating patterns of motion so complex that they seem to have been choreographed from above. Power. Power. And so when we are together and we lean into each other, our lives get better. There's great power in that. Not going alone. I like the poet Rilke. He says that he has this in-seeing, which is changing one's point of view to inside another being. That's when your awareness merges into the awareness with a capital A, the big awareness. Then you're inside of everything as well as outside, because there's only one of it in the universe. This is the mystical root of awareness. So when I can know myself so powerfully that it's okay that somebody else has another opinion, another idea of me, another whatever, and I can step into them and try to consider what their experience is. Where are they coming from? That's where we can meet in that field outside of right and wrong. But it takes courage. We have to want to do it, right? It's much easier for me to go, yeah, they have their thing. Okay, fine. They have their thing. But if I can recognize and move into them and look within them, that's a deep spiritual practice that I hope I encourage us all to think about. And not just let it go. You see something on the news that gets your, I do this for Peg. You got this rubbing edge, right? Take a minute. Think about their experience. Where are they coming from? What is going on with them? Maybe I can get some insight into them. Maybe not. But at least you tried. At least we had the awareness. That's when we can understand each other and compassionately hold for one another. And I call that the human V formation. We can do it. And I believe when we do that, the world will infinitely work for everyone. So again, Rumi says, out in the field, beyond right and wrong, that's where I will meet you. And that is where we can change the world. We can be seen. All my muddiness, all my missteps, all my course corrections, all of it, and giving each other grace to mess up, to own it, and just to be in my joy and my darkness, to be in someone else's joy and their darkness. And so I hope my invitation to all of us this week is that you think about how you're being seen. How could you be more seen? Are there some layers that could come off? Could I be more authentic with someone? Am I having a little bit of an issue with somebody? Could I have a clearing conversation with them and straighten it out? And then the response would be, I love you, and a hug. Because, all these words are fine. It's just talking. And I appreciate the talking, and I appreciate words, but where the real power is at is that space between. Knowing someone, appreciating someone, maybe give him a hug. That's how we change the world. And I know we could do it. Yep. I love you. So it is. Okay, this is a song. This is a Dave Matthews song, and I asked them to stretch, and they're doing it for me. But it's really not a stretch, is it, Joanna? You got this. But it is not a song that we would normally think about in church, I don't think, right? But everything's spiritual, so there you go.
That matters.
So this is one of my favorite songs from Dave Matthews Band. Joanna, Jim, Mike. emojis. All right. It's our time for giving. So again, I just ask you, do you like what you experience here? Yes. Do you? Yes. I do. Yes. So, we give to what feeds us, right? And in some of our tithing classes, we talk about, and it is the truth, right? If you're at Richie's Diner and the waitress, you're having a deep vibe with her, and she drops some wisdom on you that you're like, oh my gosh, right? That's where you tithe. You give to what is feeding you. And that's the law of reciprocity, right? Of giving and receiving. You give where you are fed. And I hope it's here, but I also know that there's other places in your life where you get fed. It could be, watching Ram Dass. There's so many possibilities, right? But the point is, we give where we are fed. Because I want all of us to be free. I want all of us to be sourced and supported. And that is the law. And the universe is a yes machine. So, let's say yes to Spirit now. If you're fed by this place, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the gifts. If you're an auto tither, which I am, I put that little auto tithe stick thing right on my chest. So let's just breathe into whatever form. It could be Venmo, it could be PayPal, it could be a check. Let's just breathe into and be grateful for that givingness, because that's the energetic behind it, the givingness. And as we give, we receive. And I want all of us to be as free as we can be. And so thank you. Thank you for these gifts. Thank you for this intention of giving. Thank you online for those who are making their way to our website or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. So please join me in our affirmation of abundance, which is divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Boom. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving to this center. What we do makes a difference. What we do here changes lives through our classes, through our experience on Sunday. And that moves out into the world, just like we talked about, and creates the human V formation. So thank you for participating in that. Thank you. All right, Sandra is going to be giving us announcements this morning. I'm going to do the first two. So, Beth and I are offering a class that starts on May 2nd. It is Powering Your Decisions, based on the book Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. Now, right here on the front page, it works. October 2014, I read chapter 3, A Decision During a Time of Shift in My Employment. It was a huge decision for me. 2014, best decision I ever made. Boom. June 2018, another powerful decision regarding employment. Again, I made a decision, wasn't quite sure, but I read, made my decision, best decision I ever made. So I'm just saying, from a demonstration point of view, it works. It really works. So I encourage you to take a class. It's going to be on Tuesday nights. We're going to be realizing the power of letting go thoughts that no longer serve us. recognizing that when we don't make a decision, we're actually making a decision. That's a no. And getting us into a deeper relationship with Spirit, God, the divine nature of the universe. So it's going to be fantastic. It's 8 weeks, Tuesday nights with Beth and I. Sign-up sheet on the Breezeway and on the website. We have some exciting music news. As you know, Joanna's going to be performing at the end of the month at the Interfaith Council's Night of Music. And so I'm very excited to support you at that night. And then I'm promoting this hard because it's going to be a change and I want to make sure everybody hears about it. May 7th, we will no longer be sitting in rows like this. Alert. Newsflash. We are going to be in a big horseshoe. Big horseshoe. You are encouraged to bring your mats if you want to be on the floor. You can wear comfy clothes. I will be in my best spiritual goddess attire. Bring whatever serves you. Crystals. You know, what serves you in your spiritual practice? Bring it. It's going to be a Taze service, which is going to be Joanna leading us in some deep chants. Gongs with Brian Fox, who is also called Oasis. He's going to be doing some gong work. So imagine, you know, we're in this circle, right, semicircle, and right in here is Joanna and Brian and maybe Mike on some drums, right? But it's going to be in with us, and we're going to feel it. This is not going to be like we do here, which is great, and I hope we feel it. This will really be feeling God, feeling love in our physical body. So it'll be a series of chants, gonging, crystal bowls, some drums, maybe a little sprinkle of something from Beth and I, okay? So it's going to be a fun after Sunday, but I'm just putting everybody on alert. And because of the structure of this, I don't think we're going to put it online. This is an in-person experience. So I'd encourage everyone who can to come. And if we're not going to be live, we'll play a service maybe from another day. We'll feel into that. But I just want to make, I'm doing the public service announcement for May 7th. I hope you attend. Afterwards, we're going to go in the social hall. There's going to be Reiki masters here. We're going to do some nourishing cacao, which is hot chocolate to Charlene, and feel into this, okay? All right, so now I'm going to pass it over. Thank you, Sandra. Let's welcome Sandra.
Pickleball. Vernon Clark is organizing pickleball on Saturday, April 29th at 10 a.m. This will be at the John Denver Park in Menifee. Information is on the table in the Breezeway and on our website. Calling all volunteers. CSL TV leadership wants to celebrate you. So Sunday, April 30th, I believe that's next Sunday, we would like to celebrate and honor all of our volunteers with a special service, a gift, and a ritual. We will be announcing the 2022 Volunteer of the Year. Then following the service, let's gather in the social hall with a yummy potluck. Please let Cecilia or Rev Shard know if you will be present for the service. And it is time to update our contact information. Please let us know if you have a new email, a new phone number, a new address, or if you are new to the center. And you can fill out a slip on the welcome table so you can stay connected to everything that's going on here. And we're selling gently used books again, and I told Kevin that I would point this out. Raise your hand, Kevin. There, he's over there.
$49 last week. Yeah.
Go see him, okay? My story is changing. I went to see him last week. It's a love offering. If Sandra Gregston can do a love offering for $2 by Lynn Twist, Soul Money, and Joe Dispenza book, then anybody here can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay?
See what one woman can do, another can do.
I'm telling you, it can be done. So, go see him, and I turn it back to Rev Shard. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandra. Yes, if you're a volunteer, we really, really, really want to see you next Sunday. We've got a little gift, and we're going to celebrate, and then we'll go have a little nosh and social organized potluck, okay? Sandra, I need you back up here because we're going to give this away. So we have this going out to a special person who celebrated her 60+1 birthday. We're not going to embarrass you, Morgana, but yes, we are. Right there. That's for Morgana. Happy birthday. So as we close today, is that beautiful? You're welcome, Kevin. That's actually for Kevin. I can't take any. That's for Kevin, her beloved. So as we close today in prayer, I just want to make a special word. Out in the breezeway on the ambassador's table is a lovely basket. This is courtesy of practitioner Janie Curry. And she knows my deep, deep love of trees. I am a tree talker. I'm a tree lover. And so there's a basket of tree seeds. If you'd like to take some seeds home with you, plant a tree, plant some seeds, right? There's an old Greek saying, which I use a lot, which is, we plant many trees under whose shade we will never sit. Yeah. And that is true for all of us. With the work we do here, it affects other people, and we will never sit under those shade trees, but they exist. So I hope that you take some seeds, thank you Janie for that, and use them as you would like. Maybe we'll plant some Amberley on our next hike somewhere. We'll take some seeds and plant those. And I want to close with a prayer that was given to me by Craig Hurst. And it's the prayer of the woods. So I ask that you just kind of go within. We're going to take a moment just to center into ourselves. And I'm going to open it. I'm going to read the prayer of the woods, and then I'll close it. And so how good it is to know God, Spirit, the universe, nature, whatever word we call, that power and presence that infuses everything. It is the all. It is love at the center of every expression that can be seen and that is unseen. It is love. Creating more of itself, knowing more of itself, revealing more of itself. I know that we are this love in form, in being, in our creation, in our revelation. And I know that nature is this love, expressing itself, being itself. It is the wonder and the awe of life. And the prayer of the woods is, I am the heart of your hearth on cold winter nights, the friendly shade screening you from the summer sun. And my fruits are the refreshing draughts of quenching your thirst. As you journey on, I am the beam that holds your house, the board of your table, the bed on which you lie, and the timber that builds your boat. I am the handle of your hoe, the door of your homestead, the wood of your cradle, and the shell of your coffin. I am the bread of kindness and the flower of beauty. Ye who pass by, listen to my prayer. Harm me not. Listen to my prayer. Harm me not. And so I know that we move forward from this time with our best effort to do no harm, to love ourselves, to love the ground we walk on, to whisper to the trees, and to know that we do no harm. So with great gratitude for this truth, for this knowing, I say thank you. For this beloved community, I say thank you. For this life and for the trees, I say thank you. I place my word into the power and action of the law, for I know it is already done. And together we affirm this. And so it is. Thank you. We have copies of this. You have to take it with you and at the little basket in the table. All right, I think we're going to close together. It is that time, and then we'll move into the social hall to have a little nosh, a little bite. Thank you, online. We love you. Don't forget, take a little plant if you want to take some life home with you. And we're going to close with living in grace. Living in grace. So I encourage us to stand together, fill that space between us, sing together.
Living in love, living in peace, living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, is His word that I want. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in
My hope is that we move through from this time knowing ourselves, being more of ourselves, being seen and seeing others. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you next Sunday. I love you. Love you.